Tonight, from U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, it's a special prime time edition of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings taking on Justin Fields and the Chicago Bears.
Now we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. It can certainly get loud inside this building, and just a few moments ago when the Vikings were introduced, it was downright shaking in here. They're set for football as the Vikings get ready to do battle with the Chicago Bears. Here's Cairo Santos now ready to get this one started. And we are underway from downtown Minneapolis. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Under center for the Vikings, out comes the former Michigan State Spartan and longtime veteran Kirk Cousins.
Not bad for a fourth-round draft pick. Well over 100 career starts now. And the chemistry with his top targets, really on point. They spend a lot of time in practice and after practice making sure the routes are run well, and he knows exactly where they're going to be on the field. And when they get open, he delivers.
Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front and linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
First down, here's Cousins. And that's complete to K.J. Osborne. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. On second down, Cook. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Now Cousins. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
2nd and 10. Cousins. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
So much about defending the pass is being able to be right there at the moment the ball gets to the receiver, and he was right in his hip pocket, helping force that incompletion.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. From the gun, here's Cousins. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Akeem Hicks able to get him down for a loss of 11. And it brings up 4th down.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. Now Jordan Berry on to kick this one away. Back deep, Jakeem Graham. They'll get 9 yards on the return there following a punt of 42. And the Bears take over. So now we'll get a look at the other offensive unit as they come out for their first possession. Leading him out, the rookie from Ohio State at 22 years of age, it's Justin Fields.
Coming out of Ohio State, one of the top prospects in the NFL draft, and it was so big that they moved up in the draft to get him, to make sure that they had him. And, boys, he got the full package. Loves the game, big-time arm, 4.4 speed, so good that another quarterback prospect said to him, "What's it feel like to run 4.4? Everybody wants to be that fast."
And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
5 yards remain on 2nd down. Now a give running right is Montgomery. And this will go for 5 up to the 33.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Fields on 3rd down. And oh, that nearly an opening drive INT, but it does fall incomplete. Not the way he wanted to start this ball game as it brings up 4th down. So on 4th down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. Back deep, D.D. Westbrook. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. The Vikings taking the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win 1st down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on 1st down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating 1st downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks, because then the defense has the advantage.
They start the drive with Cook, and he stopped immediately there. In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description, because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
2nd down, they go right back to Cook. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards, but also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. Here's Cousins. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
No score after one on EA Sports. Throwing, Cousins. And his throw here's incomplete. He was trying to find Justin Jefferson there, and that'll bring up second down. Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. And who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
Here's Jordan Berry now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. Returnable for Grant. We call that a punt of 38 yards officially, and out will come the offense as they take over. Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their second drive of the game. They've been playing the field position game thus far. No score, second quarter as they come up on 1st and 10. To Montgomery to begin the drive. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. To throw is Fields. And the hook up here to Allen Robinson. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. A give to Montgomery out of the gun. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, that's not an easy play for a defensive end because most of his responsibility has him getting upfield and working, but how about his vision to see where the play was going, crashed down inside, and tackled him for a loss.
13 yards remaining on second down. A give. This is Montgomery. 3 yards on the pickup there, but they've only got it back to 3rd and 10.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Throwing on 3rd down, Fields. They'll set up the screen to Montgomery. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. This will wind up a loss on the play, and it'll be 4th down. Two minutes on the clock in what's been a scoreless first half. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he'll kick it away for the second time. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. It'll be a net of 40 yards there following a 43-yard punt, 3-yard return, and possession will switch hands. 1st and 10. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they start out here 1st and 10. Cousins. Middle of the field to Jefferson. And they're able to get this one across the 35. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
And that's going to be incomplete.
One of the best routes, one of the favorite routes of any play caller. He just ran that one. Nice little angle route. That's supposed to be a catch, and usually it is in running back drop.
Yeah, I mean, he's a running back, but he's got hands. He should have caught it. Here's 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. That's to Dalvin Cook, his running back. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. On play action, Cousins. Throw caught there by Osborne. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Again, it's Cousins. He gets this one into the hands of Dalvin Cook. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. Could we get a touchdown in this first half after all? It's 1st and 10. Cousins to throw it. The open man is Westbrook. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
First red zone chance now for the Vikings. They're looking at a 1st and goal from about the 9. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And it's caught in the end zone for the Viking touchdown by Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson, as the first half is winding down. And the Vikings have taken the lead here in the final stages of this first half. We don't see too many scoreless halves in football, not in today's day and age, and we're not going to see one here. We finally have points on the board.
Yeah, and it didn't come easy, did it? Because neither of these offenses really got...
Now, I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play, with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How is the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Greg Joseph on for the extra point. He's got it, and the Vikings take a 7-0 lead. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it's polished off by a Viking score. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. This is Jakeem Grant. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And they'll take over with just 16 ticks remaining before intermission. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Here's Fields. He's got a man here. It's Montgomery. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. A final shot before the break. Fields and firing a deep ball for Kmet. And incomplete on the deep ball. So we've reached halftime here in Minnesota with the Vikings on top. As we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everybody, to our abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. Okay, right, Brandon. Thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to this slimmed-down version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one's been a hard-fought battle to this point. 7-0 is the score, with neither offense really able to get on track. But let's not waste any time. We'll get you right back out to Brandon and Charles for the second half.
Bears going to see the football first, and they trail here as we get back underway to start this second half. Jakeem Grant now to return. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. The Bears offense set to go to begin the third quarter. And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
On 1st and 10, here's Fields. And quickly into the hands of Robinson. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled.
Oh, that was a nice job there. Quarterback and receiver reading the pressure that was brought. They both knew it was going to open up the middle of the field. Nice little shake and bake at the line of scrimmage. Got right into his route. And the quarterback hit him in stride, and he was able to run free after the catch.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Handoff comes to Montgomery. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. And he'll get it down to the 47 here.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
The carry here for the big tight end. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I know they'd love to take some heat off of that young quarterback, but so far, not much in the running game, and this won't help things either. A loss on that play.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Fields now to throw. Gets around him, and he gets this inside the 35-yard line. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They looked like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there were very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what
still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. DJ Waddle. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. Well, remember, they had the nice gain on the previous play, but they just gave a lot of it back right there on that sack.
Yeah, they get the sack, get back some real estate. Felt like the type of play that can spark a defense and swing some momentum. Almost felt like a take that type of a play, didn't it, partner?
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Here's Fields. It's caught on the right side by Robinson. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
3rd and long. It's Fields. A throw left side taken in by Kmet. And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32, and obviously well short of the first down. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
Brandon, a good idea there on 3rd down. Run a little clear out and hope you can get your receiver the ball coming across the formation. Nice design, but well played defensively, and they stop him well short.
On is Santos for the Bears field goal. It'll be a 49-yard attempt from the left hash. And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So a decent drive there to start the 3rd quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
After the made field goal, Santos back out there to kick it away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really looked clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And a penalty flag down as he gets only about a yard. And let's listen in on the call.
Don't do us like that.
So on the big tight end, Holden.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
Cook following the penalty. Now Cook hit and he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. So they take over not only in enemy territory, but in the red zone at the 16-yard line. So turnovers, Charles, you figure will be key in the second half, and that's a big giveaway there.
Yeah, and as you and I both know, coaches are always preaching ball security, and none more often than right here in the second half of a tight football game. Now you've got to believe what the coaches are saying and take care of that football.
Took till the second half, but finally a red zone opportunity here. They come up 1st and 10 at the 16. On the carry, it's Montgomery. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It was Anthony Barr that time who got in there and made the play.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Now on 2nd and 13. Fields. Open man is Kmet, the tight end. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Bears on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 4. A shotgun snap, Fields. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
And that's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They snap it to Fields. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Xavier Woods with a pick. And the Vikings are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line. The rookie was trying to push it downfield, but the safety bit him.
And he'll learn that you have to hold the safety. And you do that with your head movement, your eyes, sometimes your shoulders. Hold the safety so that you can get back to the throw that you really want to make. He got so excited thinking his guy was open that he made it easy for the defensive back to go get the football.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there. Forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
As defensive coordinators around the league tell me all the time, that throw is not for every quarterback because you've really got to drive the ball downfield. It's going to be a tight window for him to fit that one into. In this case, unsuccessfully.
On 3rd down, Cousins. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. He couldn't get away there on 3rd down. The pressure too much, and he's sacked for a loss of 12.
Well, I think that time he just maybe held on to it a little too long, CD, because after a couple of seconds in this league, you know those defenders are coming.
And how many times do we talk about complementary football? We usually talk about, does the offense help the defense? Does the defense help the offense? I think in this case, does the quarterback help out his offensive line? You only have a certain amount of time to get rid of the football. They can only do so much. On this play, he took them to the limits.
Barry on to punt as he gets this one away. Going to be a 43-yard punt, just a single yard on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs.
Another drive coming up for this Chicago offense. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead.
The Bears in good field position to start out 1st and 10 at their own 43. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Mackenzie Alexander with a pick.
Defensively that time they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Cousins now from the 50. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
Under 4 to go now as they come up on second down. Cousins gives way to Cook. And he'll get across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
Cousins now. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
That's a tough spot for a running back coming out of the backfield because you know he's got to look for the football, knowing full well he's got a man coming his way full steam, and he broke that one up.
Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. Here comes Justin Fields and the rest of the Bears offense. And the interception that ended their previous drive, that might be one we look back on and say that was the turning point of this game.
Hey, partner, guess what? There's still time for a few more turning points in this ball game. They're only 1 score down.
Yeah, true. We could have some twists and turns. Stay tuned. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. That's complete right side to Kmet. And they'll get him down here at the 23. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short.
I got the sense that the defense created a little momentum for them there, didn't they?
Did their job, forced the punt. Now, nice start to the drive. Offense has to do their part.
Yeah, they certainly do, but what a great start for them. They got to go thank the guys on D.
On 2nd down, it's Montgomery. And down he'll go at the 25.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Now a 1st down throw, Fields. And he finds his target. It's Marquise Goodwin. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire. From the 35 on 2nd down, Fields able to find Kmet.
I like what they did there, still keeping their tight ends involved. They understand it's not quite Hail Mary time just yet.
First down now, but that clock rolling. He's back to throw. He's going to let it fly. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A big play that time through the air. 36 yards.
We always talk about the guy who paid off the play, don't we? A guy who caught it or ran it. But how about the elements that go into making a big play? This one in particular, able to scan the field, pocket held up nicely. What a terrific job by the offensive line. The route, well run, and the football, right on the money.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
He'll look to throw. This one swung out to Montgomery. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
It drives some people crazy to see those short throws underneath. They've got to find a way to gash the defense downfield.
They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. They'll look to throw. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Kmet. And the Bears are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. Back to throw. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground. He was unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Back to throw. Flushed out right. And he's across for the touchdown, and it's likely the game winner here in the closing stages.
So for those of little faith, guess what? It got done. They now have the lead with that touchdown this late in the contest. I wonder if that was a play they were holding or a play that they just knew would work from past experience.
Well, I just saw it in their eyes on the sideline before starting that last drive, and they did. You're right. They got it done. Looks like they're going to be the winners. Now an important extra point here to stretch this lead to a field goal. He's got it, and this is indeed up to a 3-point lead. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it was all capped off by the Justin Fields touchdown run. He took it in himself. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. So you're right there, but obviously the clock is not your friend. How do you handle this situation?
You're thinking 2 plays. One, to get yourself in position for the second one, whether you're able to get into field goal range or you have to try another deep pass, another Hail Mary. But you're trying to get the first one to a receiver, get out of bounds, and give yourself a chance to set things up for an easier shot at it.
We'll see if they can do it. Might be easier said than done. One last shot now for Cousins. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. You're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. From Minneapolis, good night, everybody.